If you've been in a DS dynamic for more than a few months, you've probably felt this. The polarity is there, but real life keeps swallowing it. Work, stress, errands, phones, and suddenly the dynamic only exists during sex if you even have the energy for that. In this video, I'm giving you 10 daily BDSM protocols that take almost no time but keep your power exchange alive every single day in a way that feels intentional, erotic, and sustainable. Here's the truth. You don't lose the dynamic because you stopped being kinky. You lose it because you stopped having reliable touch points that remind your nervous system and your relationship who you are to each other. I've worked with so many dominants and submissives who say their dynamic is fading when what's actually happening is they're waiting for the perfect moment to feel connected again. And that moment rarely comes. But introduce something as small as a 2-minute ritual, an honorific, a posture shift, a rule around presence, and the spark comes back. Not because it's complicated, but because it's consistent. It tells the body, we're still here. We still choose this. When you choose protocols that fit your real life and your real personalities, you create a daily rhythm that keeps hierarchy, devotion, and erotic charge online without turning your relationship into a full-time job. By the end of this video, you'll have 10 plug-and-play protocols you can start tonight, and you'll know how to choose the ones that build desire instead of resentment. Before we jump in, one grounding note. Protocols only work when they're consensual, sustainable, and clearly defined. If you want a deeper breakdown of the difference between rules, rituals, and protocols, check out these videos on submissive training. And start small. Pick one or two, run them for a week, then expand. And if you want a larger menu to choose from, I also created a resource called 45 Easy BDSM Protocol Ideas on Patreon, so you're not scrambling or guessing. The link is in the description and it's available at all tier levels. So let's start with grounding, because presence is where power exchange actually lives. One of the most stabilizing daily protocols is a collaring ritual. A daily collaring ritual immediately establishes presence. Kneeling and presenting the collar creates a deliberate pause, an embodied moment where both partners consciously step into their roles. It reinforces that the power exchange is chosen every day, not just assumed. Even when sex isn't on the table, this carries erotic weight because it centers consent, surrender, and authority in a calm, grounded way. And it becomes an erotic anchor you can both orient to throughout the day. This doesn't need to be elaborate. The submissive presents the collar, eye contact is made, it's locked, and you take one breath together. It's not about theatrics. It's about choosing the dynamic on purpose. Morning routines are another powerful place to anchor hierarchy. Preparing and serving the dominant's morning coffee turns a mundane habit into intentional service. This isn't about perfection or intimacy, it's about awareness. It communicates that the dominant's desires and mood matter before the day pulls you both into work mode. For the submissive, it creates purpose and alignment. For the dominant, it reinforces being cared for and prioritized. These tender routines set the emotional tone for the entire day, and this one quietly brings devotion and structure online early. Now, once presence is established, care-based protocols deepen the bond in a different way. Like organizing the dominant's weekly vitamins, supplements, or medication. That's a quiet but powerful expression of devotion. It reinforces that submission includes responsibility and investment in the dominant's physical health, and that the dominant's needs matter too. They need care too. These thoughtful acts build trust and emotional safety, which directly support erotic connection. This is care-based submission, and it's one of the easiest ways to deepen intimacy beyond sex. It communicates, I'm invested in your well-being, and emotional safety makes erotic polarity easier to sustain. Presence becomes even more potent when you protect it. Silencing the phone when the dominant is present communicates focus, availability, and respect. It says, you matter enough to have my full attention. I like to say, listen with your face. This protocol shields the relationship from constant digital distraction and keeps interactions grounded in the here and now. One of the most erotic forms of submission is presence. A simple rule: when the Dom enters the room, the phone goes on silent and stays out of your hand unless invited. That can revive a dynamic instantly that feels flat or distant. And if these sound almost too simple, that's intentional. Protocols don't work because they're intense, they work because they're repeatable. Daily touch without sexual expectation is another powerful way to keep connection alive. Offering a neck and shoulder massage to your dominant after a long day allows them to release stress while remaining physically connected to their submissive. It's a tender demonstration of honor and care. And this kind of touch builds trust and vulnerability. It reminds both partners that intimacy isn't limited to sex. It's built through consistent, caring contact. A 5-minute massage can turn "I'm exhausted" into "I'm held," reinforcing that submission includes attunement, not just performance. Now, let's talk about shaping the environment, because service doesn't only happen between bodies. Adjusting the thermostat before the dominant arrives home may seem subtle, but it's deeply intentional. It signals anticipation, preparation, and mindfulness of the dominant's comfort. This also trains proactive service rather than reactive service, if that's what you prefer. The submissive is shaping the space in advance, and that creates a powerful "my presence matters here" feeling the moment the dominant walks in. Some protocols keep the dynamic alive even in absence. Tidying the space after the dominant leaves for work reinforces order and removes mental load from the dominant during a chaotic morning. This is a reset protocol. It keeps the submissive connected to the relationship throughout the day and reinforces that service doesn't only happen when someone is watching. Mealtime is another rich opportunity for quiet hierarchy. Plating and serving the dominant's food before your own is a classic protocol because it blends seamlessly into daily life. It's visible, simple, and difficult to overlook. It prioritizes the power exchange without needing a formal scene. Mealtime becomes a quiet ritual of authority that keeps roles intact even on ordinary, boring nights. And you can even deepen that ritual with a pause. Waiting for the dominant to take the first bite is a small act of deference that lands powerfully because eating is usually automatic. But by inserting restraint into something autopilot, you reintroduce structure and leadership. It trains the body to wait, keeping the dynamic present with almost no effort. Finally, language itself can hold the hierarchy all day long. Using honorifics consistently reinforces respect and erotic polarity even during casual conversation. The goal isn't to choose the most dramatic title. It's to choose one you can use consistently without embarrassment or burnout. When language stays intentional, the dynamic doesn't need to be switched on. It's already running in the background. Daily protocols shouldn't complicate your life. They protect the dynamic from disappearing into it. They keep connection conscious in moments where intimacy could easily fade into habit. In a world full of noise and distraction, these small rituals say, "I'm here. I choose this dynamic. I choose you." If this video helped you, please like it, share it with a kinky friend, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you want to go deeper with resources and community support, you can join my Patreon and Discord using the links below. And to my beautiful channel members, thank you. Your support allows me to keep creating content with minimal ads and interruptions, and to raise the standard for ethical dominance and erotic leadership in real life, not just fantasy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.